going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gonna be the Puerto Rica. Yo, ow. I know, I'm not a good pursuer. I know this about myself. Welcome back to Two Jews, One Gay, Season 2, Episode 2. I'm Sarah R.W.
I'm Samantha Schwimmer.
And this episode is called Marriage. It's the wedding episode.
It's the wedding. Chapel bells are ringing.
That's why we're wearing all white.
Yeah, we're beautiful brides.
We're both beautiful
We're
brides.
child brides.
Oh my God, we are child brides.
We're so young and gorgeous.
Oh my God, who's going to take my flower?
Who's gonna deflower me?
Do you want to take my flower? What lucky scum is going to take my flower?
Scum of the week. What scum of the week is gonna take your flower?
Carlos? we have to reference Carlos every episode.
So that he keeps watching.
He said he'll only watch if he's referenced.
Yeah.
Carlos, you can take my flower. Don't tell the benefactor.
That's literally insane to lose your virginity to Carlos.
Oh my. I wonder if anyone's ever lost their virginity to Carlos.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
Probably.
How many virginities have you taken?
I was about to ask that. I honestly, here's the thing, and this is gonna sound bad. I really aggressively only pursued people who had more sexual experience than me for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I was insecure. There was one person in college I hooked up with regularly who I'm pretty sure was a virgin until
you hooked up.
Yeah. And I feel
so 1, 0.
Yeah. So I think.
Did you swap V cards for your first time?
No, I did not swap V cards for my first time. He had just gotten out of a long-term relationship.
Okay.
I don't think that I've ever. I think there's one guy whose virginity I took, and then there was one. No, probably a couple. There were probably a couple of girls who
gay virginity.
Yeah.
I've taken 4 male virginities.
Oh my God, you're collecting them,
dude.
What the fuck? That's honestly baller.
I know. And one of them, this is so bad. One of them, he was a year younger than me. And in high school, that's I feel noteworthy.
I mean, literally, yeah. Development.
Yeah.
Every year matters a lot in high school.
And so I used to black out in high school all the time.
Oh my God. Wow.
And there's this guy, real big mistake. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God. She's a celebrity. She's just, her phone's blowing up.
But there's this one guy.
Yeah.
And I remember making out with him at this house party and all this stuff. And then good night. I don't remember. But then I woke up with my friends the next day and we were driving around and someone was I think you might have had sex with my.
What?
And I was no, I didn't. I would know if I had sex. And so I texted him. I was isn't it funny that people are saying that we had sex last night? And he's you absolutely took my virginity last night against the water heater in the unfinished part of Brooke's basement.
He consented.
Yeah, I didn't feel raped.
Yeah, well, okay, I was going to clarify that. Okay, when someone says, you took my virginity, it sounds very, assertive.
Oh, yeah. I don't think he was, I think he was stoked.
He was
yes.
You took my virginity.
Yeah, he's not only did we have sex, it was the first time I've ever had sex.
Oh
so,
my
I absolutely remember that happened.
Oh, my God. That's honestly really scary. That would freak me out.
As a girl?
To be in your position. Yeah, to not remember.
It was, but you have to also understand that when I was, teenage dirtbag, teenage whore. And so it's not something I'm it's not something I'm but I was down to fuck a lot.
Yeah.
So this was just, it was a problem not only then with a lot of men.
For sure.
And then I saw him 2 years later and he was a pledge in a frat.
Yeah.
I was visiting that school and his pledge master made him thank me for taking his virginity in front of everybody.
Fraternity people are so kinky, but like,
oh my god,
like for each
and
other,
gay. Yes,
like, yeah, like
oh my
his
god,
pledge master. I was like, okay, that's some fucking BDSM shit.
I can't even. Your mind's about to be blown. Our next door neighbor frat, who were like, we're good frat friends. Our houses were good friends. A video was leaked of the entire house in the basement.
Yeah.
The pledges were all in their underwear.
Okay.
Everyone, all the like active members were standing up, like rowdy.
Right.
They had a fully naked woman, a stripper, but also prostitute.
Okay.
And they
sex worker,
sorry. And whore slut. and then they had a pledge eating her out, and they were all cheering. And then when he wanted to come up, she put his neck in a headlock with her arms, and like, yeah.
Where was this?
At Indiana. They got the video leaked, and
oh my god, they were filming it.
Yeah,
Jesus.
and they got their charter taken away the next day.
Yeah.
Like,
well,
literally, they put up like a cement block over like their sign in front. It was real.
Honestly, fucking shit.
Yeah,
that's revenge porn.
but
and like not consensual.
But also yeah, just weird on a lot of levels. But everyone watching and cheering,
oh my god,
was
so
crazy. Was so insane. ATO chapter of Indiana chapter. They don't exist anymore, so no one can be mad at me, or if you are, you're fucking lame. Yeah. How did we?
We were talking about
virginities.
And virginity. Yeah.
Here, do you want time?
Yeah, I want the ice pack. Thank you.
It's like not really ice anymore.
But it's cold.
It's cold. Yeah, and then I took a handful of guys' virginities. I've never taken a girl virginity.
It's beautiful. One day, maybe.
One day. I don't think I want to.
Really?
With women, I think I'm like you, where like I only want more experienced women.
Oh. Yeah.
Or I don't know, maybe a fresh-faced, whimsical moment.
Doe-eyed.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Things that happened this week. We were just talking about Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher's character testimony or character letters to the judge
for Danny Masterson.
Danny Masterson.
I'll say at the top, my general.
Speaking to the microphone.
Thank you. I'll say at the top, my general opinion of like. This is really hard. I don't believe in prisons.
Okay.
And so.
For even rapists. Where do rapists go? Heaven?
That's so, yeah, directly, straight to. You know in the movie This Is the End, where you get like sucked up to heaven? Yeah. It's like, whoop!
Yeah. You know the movie All Dogs Go to Heaven? It's all rapists go to heaven. Okay, so so you don't like prisons for anyone. Go on. So it's hard for you. So
I wouldn't say that's hard for me. Okay, here's the thing. So like abolitionism is a process. I understand we don't have mechanisms in place right now to like divert people necessarily. So I think that's a hard thing, right? Because it's like abolitionism, it's like incredibly multifaceted. You're working with like community reform so that it's like crime prevention is a lot of it, in the sense of like you're trying to like fill the gaps of society and also dismantle the structures that then lead to various like crimes, right? So it's like when it comes to like something like rape, you're like dismantling toxic masculinity, you're doing consent education, yada yada yada. But it's not like, okay, we're just gonna like close down all prisons and then that's it. Like
everyone's out scot-free.
So I think it's hard for me. Rape is a really hard one because there's no way. I honestly believe there's no way to get justice for rape.
The victim.
You can't undo. It's like there's no way to
murder.
Yeah, I think for those like more like serious violent crimes, it's like there's nothing you can do to like rectify the situation and make it whole that the prison system is gonna bring. Because like what happens? Like one person goes to jail. You're not dismantling the like structures that allow rape to exist in society. So it's like and that was my problem with the Me Too movement. It's like we're asking for accountability, but it was like asking for accountability and then picking out like individual people instead of like dismantling the structures that be. And it's like not that individual people shouldn't be accountable for their actions. They absolutely should.
So what do you think should happen to Danny Masterson, who was found guilty of raping 2 women?
I think based on the structures that we have, like, jail is the only there's no way to hold him accountable, right? But I think that part of abolitionism is imagining alternatives. So it's like, even if you don't seek them out, it's kind of like
part of abolitionism is creative play.
It's just it's finding your inner child. It's putting
the key part to abolitionism is
some act out work.
Is self-love. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Also, though, I think, though, like, obviously we can't ask the victims, but
but a lot of them did want jail time. I will say that.
Like, in those cases, or like like if in murder cases, like, the family is like, yes, there's no rectification, but there can be some sort of solace for the families and victims through prison.
That's what's hard too, is like having experienced sexual violence. Like, I've never brought the criminal justice system into that, but I have brought like Title IX or whatever, like institutions.
Other authoritarian.
And at one point was like punitive actions was like very much what I wanted.
Yeah.
But then when I went through that process and like experienced how traumatizing like
those processes are for the victims. I was
like, oh my God, there has to be a better way.
And there isn't. And not yet.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some like restorative justice stuff, and that honestly did help me heal more than anything else. But it takes both people being willing to do that work and like kind of an ideal situation. Right.
And I'm also like, I thought with the Me Too movement, like we did ourselves a big disservice as women by painting with a really broad brush.
Right.
Like
100%.
Like Louis C.K. and Harvey Weinstein didn't do the same thing, right?
Right.
There was definitely power like what Louis C.K. did was very wrong. 100%. But like there's more opportunity, I think, for restorative reformative justice
in the Louis C.K. situation
than like Harvey Weinstein 100%. Who was fucking raping 100%. Women and blocking them from leaving.
I 100% agree with that. I think that in those situations, especially like if you had a relationship with a person beforehand, like there are lots of things that lend itself to make it easier to have a restorative process versus like just like repetitive violent, which I think in Danny Masterson's case, like, and then there's also like the institution of Scientology at play. And
oh my God, like, which has so much rape.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rape in the Scientology church. I want you to come after me.
Come after
First
us.
it was the fatwa. Now we want to declare a fight.
Honestly, here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. Like, a fatwa is a lot sillier to me than, like, Scientology coming after you.
Really?
Yeah, because...
That's, like kind of rude to the...
No, but, like, we want to make it an entertainment, and a lot of them are Scientologists.
I know, but they're having their day of reckoning.
I hope so.
Also, it makes us more relevant.
I know. I'd rather, like, street cred, I'd rather...
Salman Rushdie, no one cares anymore.
It's scary.
But
I mean, whatever it takes to be famous, I guess.
Yeah.
Whatever cancellation will help us more.
But diverting back to the Danny Masterson thing. So Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, who were a married couple, who also before they were married were on that 70s show with Danny.
And can I just say, weird, because she was 14.
Yeah, she was 14.
She was 14. He was what?
Like 19, 20.
Yeah. And they kissed.
Yeah, and she liked it. Now he's her husband.
I know, and he was like a big brother figure to me. A bunch of people are now coming out in defense of her, and they're like, she was abused. And I was like, okay, let's not.
Don't put words in her mouth. It's the same thing
with Melania when people were like,
blink twice if you need help.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, it is entirely possible that was her lived experience, but also like, let's not take away from the fact
her
that
agency that she can make decisions as a woman,
and also her own role in defending Danny.
Oh, Mila.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Those were leaked.
Yeah.
They were never supposed to be read by anyone
100%.
But the judge.
And they could also, I doubt that they will, but you can get in trouble for leaking stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. And so,
you're not supposed to.
Like, now that it's been leaked, obviously it looks so bad. And, like, it did cause pain and harm to the victims.
Yeah. And they shouldn't have written.
Your opinion is that they shouldn't have written it.
Well, it's really hard. I mean, I think...
If your dad raped 2 people, would you write a character statement for him?
That's what's so hard.
See, like, I would.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's like, and I think that this goes back to the like abolitionist side of things, because it's like everybody who's ever done anything bad has people who love them for the most part.
And no one is the worst thing that they've done.
Right. And I think that that's honestly my favorite book that kind of deals in this topic. It's called Open City by Teju Cole, and I don't want to spoil it, but like
Fiction?
Yeah, it's fiction. And it really, and then my favorite other media that has like sexual violence themes is Michaela Cole's show. What's that called? Why am I blanking on it? I Will Destroy You. I May Destroy You.
Oh.
And both of them do a really good job of like narrative, and I don't want to spoil it, but like narrative telling of like showing the different sides of how like you're your own hero, and so you don't think about how your actions necessarily impact other people. You're kind of like in your mode.
You want to know what song that made me think of?
What?
I don't want to be like Cinderella sitting in a dark, cold, dusty cellar waiting for somebody to come and set me free. I don't want to be like Snow White waiting for a little prince to come and save me. Oh, I will survive with somebody by my side. Don't want to be no one else. I'd rather rescue myself. I had to get to that line.
There we go.
Go on.
We got there. But yeah, I think, sorry, I didn't want to spoil those important works of media, but I think that the point being that like we all are like the heroes of our own story, and like the people in our life fit into that. And so like how we see people, so it's, I completely understand like if someone that was close to you was accused of this horrible thing that's like so different than the person, that you know.
You're trying to reconcile something
like,
at the same time.
What they said in their like stupid, I think that it was such a mistake of them to release that video. I think they should have just have not commented
their
on it.
PR
Let
team.
It blow over.
They got a crisis PR team.
Oh, 100%. And
it was creepy.
They do those videos all the time. They do that kind of like video of them together.
Ashton and Mila. Yeah,
all the time. But I'm like, that was such a I'm like, just let it die, because it will. Like, people will get over it. People on Twitter will remember forever, and everybody else is not gonna remember, not gonna even know. So I'm like, just move on. Move on.
There's nothing to say.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you did just write it, and we can all understand the nuances and make our own decision about whether we think that was right or wrong.
I honestly think they probably didn't even write the letters.
You think?
Like, I think that they probably just signed their name onto it. There was like a typo in Ashton Kutcher's one. And then like someone was analyzing it and saying that they were using language that's like seen in Scientology a lot. So they were speculating as to whether they have ties to Scientology, which that would be crazy.
I would be so upset because she's Jewish.
I know.
She's a Russian refugee.
It's hard to know with celebrities, because I'm like, it would really surprise me if they were Scientologists, but then like Scientology is weird, and a lot of like,
but also they like don't bathe their kids.
A lot of people like start going to Scientology stuff and just get into it, and they like a lot of people who like are kind of like pseudo intellectual
are into it,
get really
which is so funny because it's literally sci-fi.
No, I know, but it's like these people are like, oh no, it's about reading and truth, and like it's just kind of an they're like, it's kind of an interesting intellectual exercise, and then suddenly they're like,
they're so
complicit in
my dad did voiceover work for them for the Church of Scientology in LA, and they never paid him.
Oh my, of course they don't, because they don't pay people. That's not surprising.
Yeah, so again, come after us.
But
yeah, but that was big. I don't know. It's like it's very crime and punishment. Like, know, like who the person that does the bad thing but is still a full person with a full inner life and like complex. Not to victim blame, obviously. Like, I hate rapists. Rapists are the worst.
Well, and I think that's, for me, this is always the hardest part of it, where it's like pretty much every single person on the planet has in some way upheld elements of rape culture.
Yeah.
Whether that was intentional or not, like, and there have been times where I've done, it's like you make jokes, you
make light of situations. You
kind of maybe stand by your friend who did something, which, I'm definitely someone where if I'll cut people off. Like, if I've heard shit, I'll cut people off. But I know people who don't do that, and like it's
interesting also, like, without being too detailed, like, sometimes I feel like the way that I've handled the aftermath of situations I've been in the sense where, like, I decide protecting my peace is the most important thing. So, like, I don't pursue things more intensely or at all.
Yeah.
And, like, kind of allow those people to kind of continue living their lives just 100%. As they were before
100%.
Is also kind of upholding rape culture selfishly. Yeah. But I don't regret it.
It's also, like, in that case, it's, like, it's not your fucking responsibility to, like... But it is true.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the larger thing, is it's, like... I get really sick. It's, like, it's impossible to hold people to the standard of, like, you can never do anything wrong ever. Because it's, like, we all are constantly fucking up. And it's, for me, it comes down to, like, accountability, self-awareness.
Contrition.
Yeah.
Do you think contrition is important?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's like you can't. For the people coming after Ashton and Mila Kunis, I'm like, you literally don't know these people.
Right.
You know the brand that they've cultivated. And it's honestly goes back to what we were talking about last episode with Lizzo, where I'm like, people who cultivate their brand around being relatable or likable, like, they're always going to disappoint you.
Yeah.
Because people suck. Like,
that's why we have cultivated a brand about being completely loathsome.
Yeah, we're fucking bitches.
We're bitches. We're stuck. We're hateful.
Right. I also will say, though, this is something that I find really interesting, is because I firmly believe that about people, but some people critique white women for, like, leaning on that narrative of, like, we're imperfect, I'm learning.
Oh.
Because I think it is... It's like, are you really learning? If you make the same mistake over and over and over again, are you really learning?
Right. And is that a cop-out?
And I do think that being able to say, like, I'm a full person, I make mistakes, and then I learn from them, like, that does come with a semblance of privilege, because
some people,
a lot of people are not given that
and not
grace.
able to learn from them. Yeah.
Or, like, don't even make mistakes, but are just, like, wrong place, wrong time, whatever else, you know?
Right.
Like, white women are given a pass a lot of the time to kind of, like... be forgiven,
right,
for indiscretions. And
I'm thinking of so many, like, in pop culture.
I mean, it's a lot easier, you know, because white women are comfortable also being like visibly vulnerable, which then makes people think that they're being raw and honest. Well, like, and then like
all of there's a lot of, like, writing and discussions about, like, the power of white woman tears.
For sure.
Like, when 100%. A white woman is sad, everyone, like, mobilizes to support that person. And so, like, even in, like, a context of, like, discussing race, if, like, you go too hard at the white woman and make her cry, then like, you're the bad guy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
White.
What else do we want to just get into the meat of the episode?
Let's talk about weddings.
Okay, it is wedding season, and
I know so many people getting engaged or married,
which is crazy because you're so young.
I know, but it's like a cry for help. Like, two people from my grade just got married. I was not invited, which is honestly hurtful.
Sad.
Even though I wasn't friends with either of them.
But still.
But, like, they should have invited me.
Yeah, they should have.
They should have had some respect. Their wedding pictures literally made them look like white nationalists.
Oh my God, you'll have to show me.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's funny. They, like, in a field or what?
No, but it was like actually they did. They took some of their wedding photos in a field. They got married in a Catholic church. And they're like it's the way that they're standing. Like, they have they're all standing, like, kind of far apart, the brides, and they're all just like this.
Did you show it to me?
I think I did.
It is so funny. Oh, I wish we could show you guys. I know.
Honestly, I'm like, I'm never gonna talk to these people again, but it'd probably be rude.
It's rude, but we could blur their photos.
Their face.
We'll put emojis on.
So many people from my school would hate me. Whatever.
Really?
I really don't care. Not really, but if we ever
we didn't make them take that photo.
Because I called them white nationalists, but he is joining the military.
Benefactor was in the Navy.
Okay, but Marine Corps.
More intense.
And also, Chris was,
In the Navy band.
In the Navy band, which is honestly kind of a vibe.
It is.
This guy's joining the officer. He's doing like officer training for the Marines. She works for a Republican think tank.
Oh.
They're literally. I'm like, it's not that much of a stretch. It's like that.
I thought they were like you, but they just looked like that.
No.
I see.
They converted to Catholicism like a couple months ago before they got married.
Both did.
Yeah. No, it's weird. It's definitely weird. Are we gonna play the newlywed game?
Yeah. How do we want to do that?
I don't know. Well, okay.
Wait,
should we just read the questions and then we can just kind of both answer them?
Yeah, I guess that's easier.
Okay.
Also, we totally forgot that this is a podcast, and if we wrote things down,
yeah, it'd be flipped.
For listeners,
Oh.
they wouldn't be able to read what we put up.
So
we've done that before. You've made that mistake.
We've made many a mistake. It's fine.
Okay. How did Samantha meet her spouse?
Oh, I was thinking like, how did we meet each other?
Oh, we're spouses.
We're the spouses.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're the newlyweds. How did we meet? Actually, I was literally talking about this morning.
We met at Madhouse, a comedy club.
Yeah.
We were Frankie.
Yeah.
We
were talking about it this morning.
Frankie Gonzalez was just like, she's here. Like, was pretty much like, you guys need to meet.
They were setting it up like we were gonna hate each other. They were like talking it up for weeks.
I was
like,
actively told that I was gonna
friends,
hate you.
and I was told that you would hate me. No one thought that I would hate you. It was always just like, Sarah's gonna fucking hate you, and you're just gonna have to live with it.
That's funny.
But the setup was very much like we were both at Madhouse, the comedy club, and
we had heard a lot about one another, but had never met each other.
And we had mutual friends, but just like had ships passing the night vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And we met, and it was honestly instant.
It was
instant chemistry.
What's so funny? So they're like, at comedy clubs,
Yeah.
there's the hang, and the hang is important.
Yeah.
And so we were like standing in a circle outside of the comedy club, and Samantha and I were just like doing like the Jew debrief that Jews do.
Jewish geography. Who
Like,
we know,
did you do Nifty? Did you do like youth groups? Like blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And they were all just listening and watching us.
And they were in awe because they'd never seen it before. Because all these people only hang out with boys, and so they just have they're like, what is happening?
Yeah, and like it's a language that either you speak or you don't.
They did not.
And then like we were friends from then on.
Like literally from that moment. And I will say too, like, even they were like, I was like, I don't know why you guys thought that she would hate me. And Frankie's like, well, and I was like, oh, she does hate a lot of women. That does make sense.
I hate
a girl's girl, but
I'm a girl's girl, but I don't like new people.
Yeah.
I find
I think that was the difference. Is like we had such an instant.
Yeah.
There was never a moment of us.
There was
liking
never
each other.
there was never the period
instant.
where I was like, which I've had with a lot of people.
Yeah.
Women.
Honestly, men and women.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
I just don't like new people.
I also don't like new people.
But
in
you're
a
worse
different
with
way.
men.
Yeah. You're worse with women.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it takes a long time for a new man
to warm up to you.
Unless we instantly click.
Yeah.
Like I was like with all of our friends,
Mm-hmm.
I was like pretty instantly like okay, I like this person.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there were others that it took.
The whole no new friends thing I take very seriously. Yeah. But then once you are, I love you.
You're loved.
You're loved.
Yeah.
So that's our meeting story. Where did we go on our first date? I remember.
I do too. I wasn't sure if you did. That's why I put it in.
Fashion Valley,
Valley Mall.
and then True Foods.
Yeah.
We went shopping.
Shout out Paolo.
Oh yeah, Paolo Leo.
Yeah.
Paolo Leo.
Hooked us up.
He's the manager and a comic, but he's the manager at True Foods at Fashion Valley.
And we dine like kings.
We really do. And True Foods is so delish.
It really is. And it's one of those things where I'm like, you are probably my only friend who I could go there with. Because I've liked it. It's like, I've liked it for so long. It's like very good for all my dietary weird stuff. But
I really liked
imagine if we took the boys there.
No, I just don't have any interest in taking the boys there also. Like, let me protect my peace there.
Literally. It's a place for the girls.
The first time we went, we had an autumnal
oh my god, it was so cute.
bar moment.
Yeah.
We sat at the bar. We
Yeah.
ordered like really scrumptious autumn-y drinks.
Cocktail.
And we had like that butternut squash soup.
God, so yum. Oh my god, it's gonna be coming back.
I know, I love the soup.
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Chris was really sad last time we went, and he was like, I'm not going there if there ain't that soup. I'm like, it's fall. They're seasonal.
It's seasonal because it's fresh.
That was our first date.
Quirky. Describe what you first thought of them in one word.
Oh. So the first time I ever like referenced you, it was because I've told you this. It was because Melissa Weissman, who was on our pod, booked you before she booked me on that show, and that you're on the show with Frankie. And I was voice memoing him, and I was like, who does this Anne Frank bitch think she is? Can't believe she's taken my spot as the Jew on the lineup. So I was gonna say Anne.
I honestly, because we were supposed to be on a show together that you banned on, because it was definitely like a bad show. This was months before we even met.
Was it at the
Grand? That weird contest thing.
Oh, you were in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was in the finals.
Yeah, me too, but I just didn't go.
Yeah, and she just didn't go. And I was like, I thought you were so pretty. That was my first impression. I was like, she's so pretty. And I literally looked at her Instagram, I was like, oh my God, she's really crushing it.
Oh.
She's really.
Love you.
Me too.
So for me, it's pretty, and you, it's Anne.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Or it's like Jew.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't. Cute. I don't know, but it was probably something Jewish.
Yeah.
Jewishy.
Yeah. But then my first impression from when we first met, I was like, oh, it's just like home.
Yeah,
I was like so familiar.
Yeah, I got it. I didn't like it. Was, you know how like with people sometimes you're like, I haven't quite figured them out.
Yeah, no, I was
just like, I know this person.
It was like, I've known this person my whole life.
Yeah.
Who is the tidiest? You.
Yeah, but which is a low bar.
We're messy little trolls.
Yeah, we're both messy
little scums.
I try to keep my spaces clean, but like I'll usually have one space that isn't.
You just have a better setup to be tidy.
To contain.
Yeah, because I'm like, if I had
apartments are hard.
I have so much room though, so I don't really get it.
I've never been in your room.
Yeah, because it's a fucking mess.
Although
I deep cleaned yesterday, so
I don't know why you put this next question.
I honestly just copied and pasted from this. We don't have to do it.
She asked who is the funniest.
It wasn't me. It was like newlyweds.com or whatever.
Oh.
This is a newlyweds game.
I
didn't write any of these.
It's a lot harder when we're both comics.
Yeah, we can't do that.
No.
Who is their celebrity crush?
Oh, yours is Natalie Portman?
No.
Okay.
I do think she's beautiful, but.
Well, Olivia from Love Island.
Oh my God. Like,
Liv.
yeah. No, I'd say my celebrity crush is probably Renee Rapp.
Oh.
That's who probably have been, yeah.
That's such a good answer.
Know, and we're about to see her in concert.
At the Magnolia?
No.
Where is it? Soma.
It's going to be disgusting, but she's so pretty.
She's so pretty. Have you been listening to her album?
Oh, yeah.
So good. Have you been listening to the Olivia Rodrigo album?
Yeah, I have thoughts.
You don't love it?
I feel like half of it's good and half of it is good.
Which, do you like the pop songs more or the rock songs more?
The rock.
You like the rock more.
Punky.
And the pop ones you're just kind of like,
because they're not that great. What about you?
I've listened to it in the car and in the shower. I've listened to it once all the way through. Yeah. I mean, I love Vampire.
Vampire's so good.
So good.
Yeah.
And I love Lacey.
Okay, that's a hot take because nobody likes that song.
I love. Do you not like it?
I haven't decided yet.
I really like Lacey. I love a creepy little song.
For me, it usually takes me a little bit of time with an album to really like it.
And you know this is a lot because she's 19, so you know, like I usually would hate that.
Yeah.
But I like it.
She's 19.
I'm growing. She's mixed.
She thinks she's kind of.
You know, there's a Puerto Rican Jew who's famous named Ariana Greenblatt.
Yeah. People
have been sending her to me lately because we both have the Jew last name, but the brown face.
Yeah, it's a good combo.
Okay, who's my celebrity crush? I don't actually think I know.
I don't. Yeah, like Renee Rapp is really the only person. I don't even really have celebrity crushes anymore. I would say your celebrity crush.
Like someone who I'd be like, oh my fuck.
You know who it is?
Who is it?
It's she's not a celebrity, but that
you're like
waitress at the Comedy Store.
Oh my God, it is that. I've brought her up so many times when I don't need to. She's so beautiful. Yeah. I don't know her name. Like, and I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't even think she sees
she's
me.
She's less of a celebrity. I'm like, that's the only person I could think of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like thirst after people like that.
I don't really thirst after. I used to when I was like younger, when I was like a teen.
Yeah, same.
I would say I don't thirst after people. I really don't thirst after celebrities. Like, I don't at all anymore, but yeah. Renee Rapp, she's just so talented, and like, if I had to like pick a celebrity to fall in love with, like, it would probably be her.
You know what's so funny is like comparing her Broadway to starlet arc to Rachel Ziegler.
Rachel Ziegler, yeah.
Because I started following them both like for their singing.
Yeah, for the same time.
Around the same time. Yeah. And they're similar-ish ages, I think. I think Renee's a little older.
Oh my God, she is? Because Renee's younger than me.
Yeah, but
is Rachel Ziegler? No. Oh my God.
Yeah. When she started filming West Side Story, she had just finished. They had to work filming around her high school production of Shrek, the musical.
I didn't know that. That's honestly
child.
I feel so bad for her because when she booked West Side Story, she's like, "Holy fuck, this is gonna be the most amazing thing in my life." And then it was like COVID, and then Ansel Elgort was,
kind of soft canceled,
but also kind of hard canceled.
Was he hard canceled?
Yeah, pretty hard canceled.
What did he do? Groom?
Yeah, I don't even remember because he had a really effective strategy of just like never engaging with it, but it like completely ruined the movie.
Yeah, and
it just ruined the movie's momentum. And then and then people were like, talk about this.
And she's like,
this is my she was a teenager. Like, not that she shouldn't, I don't know.
But then she's like made an enemy of everyone through the Snow White saga.
I know. She's girl's been going through it. Girl needs to know how to pick.
I will say she hasn't been media trained well.
No.
It's like really like it's Disney.
It's
they
really
should
bad.
be having people coaching her.
You can tell she's got nothing.
Because she comes off very condescending, like educated girl.
It's kind of like, why are you asking me that?
Like, isn't it creepy that in the original Snow White, like, oh my God, creep, stalk, like, it's just like very
it comes off like me. Which is like, if I was trying to like brand myself on that scale, I would be like, I honestly would take the Anne Hathaway approach, where I'm like, please never talk to me, but also like, I'll do fun little interviews and tell fun little anecdotes.
I would do early Jennifer Lawrence.
Where you're like, I'm so quirky. I eat burgers with my hands.
Exactly.
I'm so quirky. I'm so quirky.
I just have the quirkiest little persona.
What's her name? She's that like not YouTube, like Disney Channel star, Debbie Ryan. She's like,
she's the most memeable person.
She's so fun. Her media interviews are so. She's like, we just took a drive.
She's like, I just got back from the desert.
I just got back. It was life changing. You just gotta live in the moment.
Dude, remember that one? Yeah, they're like,
I always say.
Like, are you the type that just does this kind of stuff? Like, yeah, I do this kind of thing all the time. Just spontaneous.
Just let my hair.
Her fucking.
She's like, I just made it.
This is my Debbie Ryan, or it's not Debbie Ryan.
Isn't that her name?
Is it? I get confused between Debbie Ryan and Debbie Reynolds.
Oh no, Debbie Reynolds. No.
She's dead.
Yeah, tragically.
And that was Carrie Fisher's mom.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Also the grandma in Halloween Town.
Yes.
Okay, next is, which of us is the better driver?
I don't think I've ever driven you before.
Yes, you have.
Oh, I have?
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're fine.
Yeah.
You're good.
Thank you.
Am I a scared driver? I feel like
honestly we're probably about the same.
Yeah, like
those
people.
About the same, where it's like we get to the place we need to go.
Yeah, exactly.
And it just don't worry.
Maybe you curb check every now and then.
But like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Just don't worry about it.
Like, the people who you drive with and you feel like you have to watch the road. Yeah. You're not one of those people. No. Like you can't be like a passive passenger. There's those people.
Yeah.
Like my
it's
mom.
not gonna be the smoothest ride in the world.
Mom, you're a bad driver. Everyone in my family thinks they're really good drivers, and I.
Did your dad teach you to drive?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did driving school too in Kansas.
I didn't. I had in California you have to do like 3 and they're always the most insane people.
Yeah.
The driving they're always like these weird old crotchety guys that are like, please.
Mine was an enormous man named Kip.
For me, it was just like old. I don't remember their name. I don't remember his name, but I was like, please let nothing happen to me in this experience.
And you'd pick me up in a bright blue Mustang from high school.
And mine would just be like, why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? Why are you nervous? Keep your eyes on. And I was like, I'm not even nervous about driving. I'm nervous about your vibe right now.
Yeah.
Your fucking vibe.
Yeah. Mine only had to slam on the extra brake once.
Yeah.
They did have to do that though.
Whatever.
What is their star sign? Wait, what is your star sign?
I know yours.
I
You're
know. I knew you would
Aquarius.
know mine.
She's an Aquarius. When's my birthday?
March
Mm-hmm.
321.
Yep.
Pisces.
Close. I'm the first day of Aries, so
Okay.
we'll give it to you.
Do you identify with it?
Yeah, I would say every day more and more. Every day more.
Stubborn.
And more.
Is stubborn one of
So
them?
yeah, Aries are like kind of. They're not the most stubborn sign. Aries, it's like very like you feel emotion very intensely, but it kind of passes quickly. Versus like other like Capricorns are much more stubborn than we are. Tauruses are more stubborn. Leos are even more stubborn. But because Aries are the baby sign, so we feel things more intensely. I'm the baby
but then you forget because your frontal lobes aren't developed.
Yeah. But I also feel like my Taurus moon and my Libra rising are like very much.
Important.
My Libra rising is like so there. Like
Yeah,
all
your
of my
people-pleasing.
people pleasing, my indecisiveness.
That's
like
the
that's
justice
all,
person
yeah, I'm
trying
like,
to balance
let's
it
talk
all
about both
out.
sides. Like
Yeah.
that's all my Libra rising and like it's
I'm Scorpio rising, which I think explains a lot
yeah,
as to why
I'm
on the
Scorpio
outside
Mars.
I'm so intense.
Yeah.
But then I'm a Pisces moon, which is what
Pisces moons
I feel a lot.
You're such a Pisces moon.
And then I'm such a weirdo Aquarius.
Yeah.
I identify with
My
mine.
parents are February Aquariuses.
Really? I love a February Aquarius. My dad's a Capricorn. Very intense Capricorn.
Yeah.
My sister's Sagittarius. Very
Capricorns
intense
are
Sagittarius.
so intense.
And then my mom's a Cancer.
Yeah.
And then Chris is a Cancer, or a benefactor's a Cancer. If you won the lottery, what's the first thing we'd buy together? I think I know the answer. It's besides a house, Samantha.
No, I know. Honestly,
What's your answer?
I feel like a media company for us.
Oh,
to
you're
run.
thinking like intellectual property.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's smarter than what mine was. I was gonna be like a theater.
Oh. Well,
I've always wanted to own a theater.
I would love that. Actually, okay, that's a much better answer. A theater, and then we could do like
because if we're rich,
cafe bookstore,
right? Wine.
Oh my god, a wine, a cabaret, just just every night.
I would want a theater with multiple like rooms.
Yeah.
You know, like a black box.
Yeah.
Like that you could also make a gallery and out of, or like an event space. But then also like a more classic theater.
I would love that. Have you seen Theater Camp yet?
No, have you?
No, but I do. Oh, sorry. Yes, I have seen it. It was amazing.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was so good. It was so.
Isn't
so good.
isn't that Korean kid from that one Korean movie? What is it called? Minari. Did you ever see that? The little.
Oh, yes.
He's in it. Daniel something.
Yes,
Daniel
yes,
Kim
yes,
or
yes,
something
yes.
like that.
Very funny character, actually.
Okay.
Really
He's
sweet.
so cute. Highly recommend following him on Instagram. He's so cute.
But no, it's so good. But anyway, so like the premise of it is like I think that we could own a theater camp.
A camp? Cute.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
That would be so fun. Where would we go?
And then we could just wear like flowy, like theater and dance instructors for children get to wear the most like flowy outfits.
Like comfy. Where would we go? Which
just as long as it's not in the Berkshire. Honestly, there's not a great one in California.
a great theater camp.
No, like so many arts.
Like in Tahoe.
Oh my god. Because I feel like Sleepaway Camp is so much more an East Coast thing than it is.
Yeah. And Midwest. Like I feel like everyone I know from Chicago went to Sleepaway Camp.
Not that people
too.
in California don't. Like definitely they do.
But they go to Canada. The ones that I knew from
really?
California who went to Jew camp go to
I wonder if
camp in
like,
Canada.
Is the land more expensive in California? Like why is it more expensive to operate a camp or something?
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know either. It doesn't feel very California.
I don't know.
How many children does your spouse want?
How many kids do we want individually?
You want 2.
Yeah, I go back and forth.
I want 3.
Really? I know I couldn't do 3. That's
I want
just,
3 because that's a party.
Now I'm honestly leaning 1 or 0.
Sometimes I think 1. Sometimes I'm just like,
yeah.
we have one of his bandmates they have one son.
I just
and it's
think-
so easy.
I just think like
and they're almost done. He's a senior in
when
high
I
school.
think about like the things I want to accomplish with I do firmly believe I'm like, you gotta give a kid a sibling or they're the fucking weirdos.
I know. Even Simona, who has siblings because she's my sister, but like
I think I would just have one kid but just like neglect them the right amount. Like I wouldn't be a helicopter. Like you have one kid, you let them hang out with their cousins all the fucking time.
that's the thing is if you have one kid, you have to be around family.
Yeah. And then or just chosen family.
But what's really sad,
we could all raise our kids together.
Commune.
It's beautiful.
You could join the commune that my friends from college are wanting to create, and then they're also bringing in some female doctors.
I recruit commune people all the time. I have some doctors recruited. Since college I've like been trying to build. So
we don't have a lawyer yet though. That's the main problem.
Well, fine. I know lawyers.
Yeah, but 3's fun. I grew up with 2. Obviously, you did also.
I think I'll probably do 2.
Yeah.
But I feel like it depends what age I start having them, because I feel like at a certain point, money, where I'm at in my career, like,
right?
You just are gonna want.
Part of me would love fraternal twins. Just knock it out of the park.
I do feel like really pro twins.
I used to grow up being like wishing I was a twin.
Twins, I feel it's hard when they're babies, but then. Like I just do feel like it accomplishes everything.
It's the same cadence of one kid, like you get them out of the house quickly and everything, but they don't grow up as a single child.
That could be the win. And then they have spare parts.
Spare parts? Oh, like if one of them gets sick?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a loving, wholesome way to describe it. Spare parts. That's very like those dystopic movies that are like you have clones so that you can live longer.
Parts.
Yeah, so you have spare parts. Like it's a Toyota factory.
Newlyweds.
Oh yeah.
That was the newlywed
That
game.
was the newlywed game.
A very weird spin on it, but
yeah,
I feel closer to you.
I do too. Your parents are still together.
Yeah.
That's nice.
They've been married for, let's see. They got married in 94, so next year will be their 30th. Yeah.
Wow. Did they get married in California?
No, they got married in Massachusetts.
Nice.
Near where my mom went.
Like kind of like a classic wedding.
Yeah, they got married. It's actually kind of crazy. They got married on the land that was my grandfather's sleepaway camp. I think that's the story or something like that.
Cute.
Yeah.
Like where he probably learned to jack off.
Yeah.
That's where your mom got
a full circle moment.
Married.
They got married. I watched their wedding. So they have like a wedding movie video or whatever, and we watched it, all 4 of us. Honestly, we were kind of older, so maybe like high school age or something like that. And we were watching it, and my sister was like, she was just like, didn't recognize any of our uncles.
Oh, really?
She was like, who's that guy? And we're like,
that's literally
Uncle Josh.
Oh, could you recognize them?
Yeah.
That's funny.
She just didn't recognize any of them, but yeah, it was sweet. But my parents,
Jewish wedding, obviously.
yeah, very like pretty.
Did she circle him 7 times?
I don't remember. Maybe they definitely did like the glass and everything.
Chuppah.
They did a chuppah, beautiful chuppah. Yeah.
When he's doing a chuppah.
I love a chuppah.
And the glass, but that's about.
You gotta do the basics at least.
Yeah.
But why my parents' wedding is notable is so this is like such a my mom story, but so I don't know.
Listen.
Shatter. So my parents had my uncle, my dad's brother, do their like table card things.
Like this
because he knows calligraphy.
Oh, that's cool. Is he straight?
Yes.
Wow.
But he also but he did them last minute.
Oh.
Which is on brand.
Mm-hmm.
And so there were some mistakes. So like he didn't write everyone's name. And most people that were missing, like they just knew that they were invited to both the wedding and the reception.
It was easy.
Out. But then 2 of the guests, it was like my mom's, a friend of my grandma's, who like lived locally in the area because my grandparents used to have a house in that part of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Like thought that they weren't like only invited to the reception. They were like, oh, we must not have been invited to the reception, and so they left.
Oh.
And then my mother, so the like bride and groom go, and Jewish weddings go like fuck in between.
They do?
Yeah, and traditional ones, yeah.
They immediately consummate?
Yeah.
Did your parents do that?
I mean, they weren't virgins, but I
Right,
don't
but
know.
did they go fuck?
Did they get time together? I'm
Right.
assuming they did.
Okay.
I'm assuming they did.
Yo.
Slay.
I didn't know that.
I'm like the kind of and so they then like come back, discover that these people had left, and my mom freaks out, gets in a car, leaves her own fucking wedding
To go get them?
to go get them and like track them down, and she gets to their
In her
house.
dress?
Yeah, in her dress. She gets pulled over.
For speeding?
Yeah. By a police officer in her fucking dress, and she's like crying or whatever, and this officer's like, what's going on? And she like explains the situation. She's like, okay, be careful, like whatever. And then she like finally gets to their house, and they're like gone, and she like, instead of just leaving, like goes across the street, sees that it's like a notary across the street, and like steps, like goes in there and like writes them a note, and
so much drama.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Did they ever end up coming?
No. But
Now they're probably dead.
So guilty. Well, maybe not. Oh my god, this is leaking water.
Well, you shouldn't put it upside down. That's the first.
I didn't realize it was upside down. But yeah, that was her.
My parents got engaged in Japan.
Oh my god, romance.
My dad prayed to the big Buddha that she'd say yes.
Aww.
Because he went there. And
Sweet.
she did say yes.
How old was she when they got engaged?
Young, like younger than you, like 23.
Okay, and he was
like 53.
Okay.
Or no, younger. No. He was like 50. She was like 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he was on tour with the musical in Japan, and she came with him. Grand Hotel.
Oh, nice.
And they came back, and they were planning to do like a big white wedding. My dad had never been married before. My mom was a child, so she had never been married before. But he was then on tour with a play called 6 Degrees of Separation, and they had a stop on their tour in Vegas. And while they're in Vegas, my dad was like, I really want to be married to you. Like, that's the important thing to me. We can still do the big ceremony later, but like, we're in Vegas. Like, let's get married. Yeah. And so the cast was like the wedding party.
Oh my god.
Included in that cast was Rainn Wilson.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Do they still know each other?
No.
Okay.
He was like a kid. He was so young.
I was gonna say, because he must have been younger than your mom. Even.
Like a little bit, yeah. Like so young.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they did pairs, like the like, cast, and each pair chose a different culture to do like a prayer from.
Oh.
So there was like a Christian hymn, there was a Buddhist prayer, there was like a native, like an indigenous.
Did we do anything Jewish?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, there was and then there was also Jewish. Yeah. My mom wore black slacks, suspenders, a tie, and some sort of like top hat. My dad wore a suit. So I'm always like, Dad, obviously she was gay. What's crazy is my mom wanted a Catholic wedding. She was going to do a big Catholic wedding for her parents.
Okay. But she had already converted.
Yeah. So weird. I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
That would have been gross.
Yeah. And I'm sure now she's like, I would not have.
Yeah, exactly. And also my mom in a wedding dress is so LOL.
Yeah. What was she going to wear one?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's their.
Do you think you'll wear a wedding dress?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't think so?
No, I do, but I'm like, I could see you just kind of freaking out about it.
No, I'm going to be so femme.
Yeah.
Wait, freaking out how?
Like the body dysmorphia.
Oh, no, I'll make sure I'm teeny tiny for my wedding. He's not allowed to propose until I take up less space. No, I'm just kidding. Guys, I'm starting to work out. I'm not doing any disordered eating really right now. I'm just like being more healthy. Yeah. I'm eating at home. I'm not eating out as much. I'm drinking less.
Yeah.
Moving my body. Yeah. Trying to do 10K steps.
The basics.
The good things.
Oh, this is.
Yeah, and now my sister's getting married.
Yeah.
Next week.
Whitney.
A week from today.
That's crazy.
Oh my God. She actually technically is already married.
Wait, what?
Because if you get married out of the country, you have to get married at the judge first.
Wow.
So she has a husband.
She's wifey.
She's wifey. We were just FaceTiming today. She went on a shopping spree. Spent $1,000.
Holy shit, for the wedding?
Yeah, for like non-wedding wedding clothes. Like for the vacation, like dresses, for dinner.
Are they doing a separate honeymoon? Because they're getting married in Mexico for context.
And they're staying there for 8 days.
Okay.
So no.
So that's
Whitney says like they have a honeymoon fund. Like as she only has 2 things on her registry. It's the honeymoon fund and then a espresso machine. And so she says she wants to like do Italy like next year.
Okay, that's cute. That's my parents did that where like
they waited.
They got married and they literally went. Italy is where they went.
Yeah,
but they didn't go for a while.
Yeah,
like
he hasn't traveled much at all. Like he literally Mexico's the only place out of the country he's been in. My family took him there. So that would be exciting.
Yeah.
It's like how it is like. When you go to Disneyland with a child and you see it through their eyes, that's what
100%
knowing Bear's
Italy's
like.
So nice too.
Is like seeing things through Bear's eyes. It's really
that's
sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah. She told me how much her wedding cost all in.
Oh my god, can you tell me and we'll beep it out?
Yeah, maybe we won't even beep it out. I'll decide. But she said like all in $25,000.
Damn, that's this we will beep out.
Yeah.
I won't even say who it was. I went to a wedding like 5 years ago where they must have spent.
It was your uncle. And
we're beeping it out. They definitely spent like 500,000. Or no, is that right?
That's a lot.
Yeah, like 500,000. No, I think they spent even more.
My godmother, who is a real estate heiress, rented out a floor of the Plaza Hotel when it was still the Plaza Hotel.
Damn.
$1 million. They had a caviar room. They had
a room.
They had in one room they would have like a string quartet, in another room like a big jazz band, which is so expensive.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, they had like it was like a 9-piece band.
Yeah.
But all of the food, I like saved up so much room for food because I was like, oh, this is gonna be
like it's gonna be 5-star dinner.
They got this person to do this, and this person to do that, and like a famous person to do the cake, and like all this stuff. So I was like, but every portion was like,
you have to feed your wedding guests.
I serve you essence of cake.
Yeah,
was like very much the vibe, and I was that was sad, but.
It's like that one Parks and Rec episode where they're like, this is like where they sneeze in your face or something. Or like this, like they flash a light in your face and they're like, that's a shot of vodka. Like, that's crazy. Yeah. Are you pro kids or anti kids at weddings?
Oh, honestly, so my dad's best friend got married when we were like older, but still, oh God. His wife was, I must have been like late in high school. It probably was right before. It was probably like I was probably like a junior or senior in high school. And they didn't invite any like kids to their wedding. And my sister was pissed.
Were you allowed?
No.
Oh, so you were a kid.
It was just kind of, I think it was more of like a,
like
if we invite this person, then we have to invite like everyone.
I was more thinking of like literal children.
Yeah. The first wedding I ever went to, I was like a young baby. I was like a couple months old, if that.
Yeah. I was a flower girl a couple times.
I was never, this is actually.
You would have been such a cute
I was never a flower girl. I've never even been in a wedding for real.
I haven't besides a flower girl.
Well, you're about to be.
I'm about to be a maid of honor.
I've never, because like all of my other friends like had like aunts and uncles get married and they got to be like flower girls or like junior bridesmaids or whatever else. One of my uncles, so I have 3 uncles. One was married, who's like my dad's sister's husband. So they were married before I was even born. And then my dad's younger brother got married when I was in high school. And we were like kind of in the wedding, but not really. And it was like kind of sus. Like,
were you like an usher?
No, they like. Honestly, we probably shouldn't talk about it because it was like family drama. But
Sam's family has such good family drama, but like not in scary ways.
No,
like
just
in
like
fun.
The most stupid, random fucking shit. People crying for no reason. That was like, I was talking to my roommate yesterday, and she was like, there has to be a happy medium between like how involved your family is in your life and like how I don't tell my parents anything. And I was like, yeah, she's probably right.
You don't tell your parents anything?
No. Like, she was saying that she doesn't tell her parents anything, and my parents are like too involved.
Oh,
and I was like,
yeah, I agree. Like, have you ever met those parents who have a relationship with their kids where they like talk too sexually around them.
Yeah.
I think that's so gross.
Yeah. I don't have that, to be clear.
No, but like my rabbi, the junior rabbi at my synagogue, her daughter went to high school with me.
Yeah.
And they, in the basement, they would call this one couch the cum couch because they knew that their daughter would have sex down there. I'm like, that's so
really
nasty.
Weird. That's a lot. Nasty.
Nasty, gross.
But yeah, drama.
Yeah.
Oh, should we do the
Weddings are intense.
They really are. Should we do the next segment?
Yeah, next segment is okay. There's three different. There's 3 tiers of categorization.
Yeah.
And we're gonna each describe what we think is the gayest part of weddings.
Yeah.
The most bi part of weddings.
Or, as I wrote in the notes, biased.
The bias, the bisexualist, and the straightest part of weddings.
Okay. Should we do we each do the gay or should
Yeah.
we do okay.
Okay, starting with gay. When the guy cries when the bride walks down.
Oh.
I hate that. I think that's so gay.
Okay, but if Chris didn't cry, would you be a little mad?
No.
Oh, really? Okay.
Be a man about it.
Fucking man up.
No, I don't. I think it's just also the videos go viral when it's so much.
Yeah.
I saw this one video where the guy falls to his knees crying. I'm like, ew.
Yeah. The gayest part of weddings for me, and not every wedding has this, but is when people do a choreographed dance number.
Oh my God. That's such a good answer.
So fucking gay.
And they're never good at it.
No.
So they're
it's and they're we took a 6-month hip hop class.
I know. At first it starts out as slow dancing and then they break it down.
Yeah. They're like, woo. And she's in her whenever they do that, she had an outfit change.
Oh yeah, she's in the fun party dress.
Yeah. So I think
one with
that's
sequins.
Pretty, I mean, honestly, maybe that's straight, but it is
No,
kind
that's
of
gay.
It's camp.
It's camp.
It's kind of camp. Yeah.
And then the crying is camp because it's
yeah.
Also, it's the groom is making it about him. And weddings are not about the groom. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah.
In a straight wedding, it is about the bride.
Yeah.
In a gay wedding, that's about the groom.
It's about the bride.
Yes. There you go. So true. Okay, the most bisexual part of weddings is the garter belt.
Okay. That was one of my I'm not gonna go with that, but that was my backup.
Yeah. I was gonna say that or the DJ. DJs are so chaotic bi energy.
So bi-coded.
Yeah. Who carries around all these lights?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Or the garter because it's just
the garters, it's
because it's
sexy.
It's sexy. It's
but
tantalizing everyone, but it's also performative.
Yeah, it's really performative.
It's also just
it's we get it. You have sex with each other.
Yeah, and especially when they have a big dress that he
I've never been
disappears
to a
into.
wedding that had a
hasn't
garter.
me neither.
I don't know.
It's so yucky.
Did you ever watch For Weddings?
No.
It's so good. It's a TLC show where they there's 4 different brides and they're all competing for a honeymoon prize, and they all go to each other's. They all go to each other's weddings and then rank them.
Oh, and they can't rank their own.
I can't believe you haven't seen this.
Oh my God, no, I'm obsessed.
It's literally the most iconic
obsessed.
show.
That
It's
sounds
literally
For Weddings.
so good. Yeah.
TLC is also now on Max.
Oh my God, you have to it's
we will. Chris
literally
and I love TLC.
You rate each show or not show each wedding based off of it's food,
decoration.
No, it's food,
dress,
ceremony, overall experience, dress, or the category they think, something like that. And people be
Are they ruthless?
she's well, she didn't really spend time with us at the wedding, so I would give the overall experience a 6. And it's but she literally didn't know you. They all try to tank the other people,
right?
Or they're they didn't write their own vows, so.
Whitney's not writing their own. They're not writing.
I honestly think it's better to not write your own vows. Whenever people write your own vows, that's fucking cringe.
I thought one thing that I liked a little bit is where they do normal before they do the regular vows.
Yeah.
They turn the mics off and they just they have a little secret
that's for
moment.
them.
It's right.
And so I like that.
But
because think about if you wrote your own vows, you'd be trying to get the laugh.
Yes.
And I just can't have that.
When the Katie Hannigan, who was a comic who was opening for Mike Vecchione, she was doing a bit about how their vows are always just when we met, we never would have known the turmoil and difficulties that we were going to face. Like when I had to move 1 hour away to work at the other Cracker Barrel. Like, and it's so that energy. Like when they read them, they're just like, I gained not only a husband, but a partner and a best friend
for life.
And then they always like make some like silly little reference to their dog.
Yeah.
And you
like,
brought Chip into my life.
Our little fur baby.
Yes. The three of us can do anything together.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the Carter bow. I love that. My bios thing, and this is not always true, but a wedding planner who really is doing it. Right?
Oh my gosh. You came with
bisexual.
such good answers, Samantha.
That's like, and not all some wedding planners are bad.
Oh yeah.
But like a bisexual.
Whitney's fighting with hers.
I'm sure. But a bisexual wedding planner who has it all like laid out.
You don't even know the fires that happened because she put them out before you hear about them.
Is a wedding planner.
Right.
Like you wouldn't even know.
Right.
She's just like
there.
washing through the space.
Type A.
Yeah. And then she's gonna fuck the groomsmen. Well, at least one of them.
Or a bridesmaid.
Both.
Yeah.
That's
listen to this. My sister's wedding planner like sends her a quote for like decorations, and my sister was like, and on it was like a $3,000 upcharge for centerpieces.
Oh my god!
And
I
my
need
sister,
to get in the wedding planning industry.
My sister was like, I said I wanted like the most basic for this. Like no one can take them home.
Yeah,
it's in Mexico. She's like, It's outdoors.
Yeah, it's gonna be
There's an
immediately
ocean.
thrown away.
There's a whole ass ocean. Did you hear that?
Yeah, something weird just happened to sound. But I think it's fine. It should be fine. It's still
benefactor. It wouldn't be that.
No.
We're fine.
I think we're fine.
Okay.
We got too excited.
We did. So she was like, I told you I wanted the basic. Can you please send me back another quote with that taken off? And she's like, oh yeah, for sure. Sorry. So she sends her back and that part's taken off and the $3,000 has just been put elsewhere into like another thing within the bill. And my sister was like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? Like it's the same amount. Like so it's like that's like crooked.
Yeah.
Like,
but wedding planner, they like, I respect it. Like they fucking run. We should have been wedding planners. It's a hustle. And you also don't need one. Like you really don't. Like you really could plan your own wedding, but.
I know. I'm like so fine with eloping and Chris was like, I want a wedding.
Wow.
Because he's like, he's really proud of himself for never having been married before. Most people in the Navy are like divorced twice over at this point.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I want to do it.
I hope he gets that. You know, I've told you how I feel.
Yeah. You just want to be there.
I don't care how it happens. I need to be there. Yeah, I'll be so hurt.
I know. My sister was the same thing. She's like, if you elope, just tell me where.
Yeah, just tell me where and when, and we'll plan. We'll go to like a diner afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Cute.
I do think I love that wedding that you sent me, where they like rented out the delicatessen.
Oh my god, but that was the rehearsal dinner.
Oh, that's so cute.
So cute.
I love that.
Girl I know, whose family's in Cleveland, for the rehearsal dinner, they rented out a Jewish deli.
Like that's so cute. We should do that.
And they all got like to just like order up like normal.
Yeah,
it wasn't waiters.
So cute. I would love to do like a wedding like that as my wedding party. Just like courthouse marriage and then just do like a thing.
Yeah,
that would be very, so cute.
That's very Sex and the City movie.
Yeah, I mean,
very. Okay, the straightest part of a wedding.
Other than like getting married.
Other than the construct of marriage.
Yeah.
I might have to think.
I have one.
What is it?
Wedding food.
Okay, that's straight.
It's so bad.
Yeah, it is.
It's like awful.
It's hard to have good wedding food.
Yeah, it's a buffet. When done well is gay.
Except I don't like a buffet because the weddings I've been going to recently, like I'm kind of at like the low number tables.
I've never seen a wedding buffet be good, but I mean like a buffet as a concept largely when done well is gay.
Yeah,
because it's about bounty and getting what you want. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like choice and like there's a lot of it and it's gluttonous, but in kind of like
a controlled way. Yeah.
When a buffet is done poorly, it's everything straight. It's in your face. Past its prime,
overcooked or undercooked.
Yeah, no seasoning.
Yeah, I went to a wedding and I was low number table, so like I was one of the last ones to be dismissed. I hate when you have to be dismissed to go eat.
Oh my God.
You know what I'm
so
talking about?
When they're like, it's your turn.
And I'm like table 12 because I'm not that good friends with the bride and groom. And so like, but I fucking traveled to be here. Yeah. And then I got up and I was a vegetarian at this time and all of the veggie stuff was gone.
Yeah.
I was like, this is absolutely, and they ran out of beer. It was a wine and beer only wedding. Dude, I might have to cut this out because it's a dear friend of mine who's so supportive, but like I did not like their wedding. I have to cut this out. Sorry.
I respect it. Weddings are personal. Like, we're gonna have to cut stuff out.
Yeah.
Weddings are personal.
Weddings are so personal.
And like most weddings suck. Like most weddings are bad.
Okay, wait. I have to think of my straight thing for wedding. I really am struggling with this. Okay, you want to know what's so straight?
What?
Is like being walked down the aisle by your opposite gender
parent.
Oh,
yeah. That's really good. That's a really good answer.
Especially the groom being walked down by like the mom and like the dad giving her away. Here's my baby. Like when they ask like who here gives away this bride.
I do.
Me. Papa. I give her away.
Daddy.
Okay, so a high school friend of mine just got engaged to last night.
Oh,
and I was close.
Mazel.
I know. And you know what's so funny is she got engaged to another high school friend, but like they didn't date in high school, but he was in love with her from freshman year.
Oh my God.
He put like literally
he grafted. That's kind of
I like made a joke once, like who put in a longer game?
Yeah.
Camilla of the royal family.
Oh my God.
Or Michael fucking Dolan with Christy Catlin. And honestly, maybe Michael.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they got, and
oh
so sweet.
That's
such
so
a lovely
cute.
love story of a generation. But her dad posted this thing and it was really cute. Her dad's gay now.
Oh, nice.
We bonded over having late in life gay
Yeah.
parents. But he posted bittersweet moment, changing of the guard, and that gives me it's so straight for him being a gay guy.
That's the most heterosexual.
But that's so sweet.
Yeah. I also like just didn't have a dad who was like that at all. Not that he wasn't like protective of me to a certain extent, but like he has never once done any of that even remotely.
Yeah. Okay, you remember?
Like even remotely. He's never used any of that language
My
ever.
precious baby.
Yeah, no. Like he's not a girl dad.
That's so funny.
Yeah, like he's not that vibe at all.
Do you remember in the bat mitzvah when you have the pre-meeting with your rabbi right before you go off, and then the rabbi says the prayer where your parents give you away to God?
Yeah.
My dad wouldn't say it.
That's so funny.
But he said it for Whitney. But for me, he was like, I will not.
It's like, my Sarah. That's so funny.
But
yeah, my dad, we were talking about this recently because my parents just are in Paris right now, and my dad had a first class ticket and my mom didn't because my dad was going for work. I mean, they're going together, but he has work there. And my dad didn't my dad would never offer my mom or us like literally there was a time where we were all flying together as a family and I was having like a really bad panic attack, and my dad had they upgraded him, and I was like, my mom was like, can she have that seat?
And your dad was literally like, no. Dude, that is so ruthless.
I know, but he's just not he's very loving. He's very loving and giving, but he's not like daddy's little girl vibes at all. Like,
would it be fair to say you wouldn't describe him as tender?
He is tender, but
that's in so very fucking funny, Samantha.
Ways. Like in very
no, it's I earned the points. It's my first class ticket. That is so funny.
Cutthroat. But the thing is, I never second guessed that.
As being it's not that he doesn't love you.
And honestly,
you've never felt unloved by him.
No, and in my current because in my current relationship, obviously he's so that kind of guy,
gushy.
Yeah, gushy or
acts of kindness.
Yeah, kind of he does all of the gentleman things, which I just didn't grow up with at all.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I do. It's really nice.
Yeah,
it's very sweet.
And
I feel very taken care of and supported.
Your dad was a well-off growing up, right? See, I think it might also be partially because my dad's Frankie. Am I loud? Are we loud?
Yeah,
my dad's Frankie, but it might also be when you grow up not wealthy a little bit. There's this I don't know.
I feel it's just the way that you're raised, kind of.
Yeah,
like
but how you're raised is like influenced by your socioeconomic.
Oh, for sure. But I feel like there are like wealthy guys that I
feel like wealthy guys
who had that mentality.
Maybe,
but not
it's
as
like
much.
fake.
I think I do.
It's like a means to an end for them. Whereas like people who grew up like middle class, lower middle class, it's like community is so much more important.
Yeah. I think for my dad too, like his dad was not super present growing up. Not that he was as present as he could be, but he worked like so many hours, so it's like he grew up with this like really strong mom.
Interesting.
And like was very much kind of like a mama's boy in some ways. And so I think that like mama's boys don't necessarily like Jewish mama's boys, which are very different than other Jewish mama's boys have like kind of a sense of entitlement that does not then lend themselves to be like
necessarily good partners. Yeah. Because they expect you to be the mom.
Yes.
Instead of saying like, oh, I was nurtured, let me nurture you. It's like I was nurtured by my mom and now you're mommy.
Yeah.
And that's such I saw this, like, I love a TikTok therapist, and I saw this one person.
I love a TikTok therapist.
And she was like, the number one problem I see in relationships is when there's a parent-child dynamic.
Yeah.
And I was like, Whitney, because there is a little bit of that. But she's like, he's my baby. And I'm like, they work somehow. But yeah, I don't think that's necessarily.
Yeah. And to be real, like, my dad definitely, like, I would not say that my parents have that dynamic.
No, I wasn't insinuating.
No, I know. Yeah. But I think that, yes, his, like, he doesn't have that, like, acts of service thing because, like, that was just not that's not how he was raised to believe men are supposed to be. I
was watching a clip of Ali Colbert's podcast, Ali Colbert.
Yeah.
And she had Nicole Amy Schreiber on.
Yeah.
And it's not really that cold anymore. Or you can keep this one.
It honestly feels good.
Just don't.
Okay. Thank you.
We have ice packs. It's very hot today. She had Nicole Amy Schreiber on, and they were talking about how single moms raise the best sons because it's not. Single moms don't really cater to their sons, but they fight the world for their sons or like their kids.
Yeah.
And so like these boys, future men, are watching someone like fight for a family. Yeah. And that like translates really well. I thought that was super interesting. I don't know that I haven't like dated a single mom son
I'm trying to think.
Before.
I have not.
Single mom who works 2 jobs and loves her kids and never stops. But yeah. What's next? Was that it?
I think so.
Talk about our dream weddings.
Oh.
Well, we kind of talked about.
Yeah, I think we kind of did.
I've told you my other dream wedding idea.
What is it?
Where I write a play.
Oh.
And in the play there is a wedding.
Yes.
And my husband is my co-star. And it's opening night and we invite everyone. And then we actually do it by the book for the first show. So it's actually a real wedding, but no one knows until curtain call. And we're like, surprise.
This is so HBO Girls coded.
And then it's not like the opening night party. It's our wedding reception.
Yeah, that's crazy. I do love that.
And then I win the Tony.
The benefactor you win?
For both best play and best actress.
And you can also win an Emmy
and best director
because we'll film it
so for TV.
Just thinking ahead.
Like Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you see what Waitress is coming out on TV?
Oh my god, yeah.
Have you seen
win a
Waitress?
Grammy too.
Oh my god, for best music. Well, okay, so it's a musical now.
Well, I just kind of assumed.
I was gonna do straight play.
You can't marry a musician and then not have a musical element.
Oh my god. The first drum-based musical on Broadway. We win a Tony together, babe.
Oh my god.
Because we're gonna co-write a lyrics and book and lyrics, right? I'm lyrics, your book.
It's dripping again.
Oh my god, you just have to. What don't you understand about just keeping it level? Huh? What I'm doing right now. What are you doing?
Writing his musical.
With who?
Oh.
Okay. So I guess the benefactors over here just writing songs. They better be love songs.
Is that what you want to marry?
They're love songs.
Aw, that's sweet.
My little brown nut. She has a good butt. They're breakup songs?
Who's it about?
Yeah. Okay. For the record, the benefactor has a tattoo of another woman's name on his body. Is it about her? And then that same woman, right, has her initials carved in the cement in front of our house.
Wow.
Chris really misses her. How old is she now? Probably 45. Have fun.
Yeah, I don't miss her at all.
Have fun.
It's kind of funny that mark is there because it's the worst girlfriend I've ever had.
You were with her for so long.
That wasn't.
You raised her child.
For the short period we were together.
How long were you together?
Probably a little less than 2 years.
Oh, that's not that long.
But the daughter lived here. Child daughter. Was my dressing room was her bedroom.
Okay, that's kind of weird. Now I have a different relationship to the closet.
It used to be a little girl's room. There's still hooks from where her canopy was.
That makes it sound like she's dead.
She's like 18 now.
Oh, maybe Chris could date her.
Do you have
Oh my god,
you could date, oh my god.
So Woody Allen.
Go, Chris, if that's what you want. Go.
Podcast goes blank all of a sudden.
Our producer quits immediately.
Yeah, you guys actually are not to bring up.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. But it could be like the White Stripes, where they're broken up and they just hate each other and still tour.
Or like Jenny Slate still made Marcel the Shell with her ex-husband.
Oh, that hottie.
Yeah.
Were they married? They weren't married.
Are you talking about Chris Evans?
Yeah.
No, she was married before she did.
Oh, I didn't know. Wasn't that such an interesting pair, Chris Evans and
It gave
Jenny
me
Hope?
Okay. Chris Evans, like, obviously he's attractive, but he's not really my type.
No, not your type at all.
But
I would die if you walked in. You're like, I have a new boyfriend,
Yeah.
and you walked in with Chris Evans. I would hysterically laugh, crying. I'd be like, shut the fuck up.
You're goofy.
Yeah.
But it did give me hope. I was like, wow, Jewish women can be hot.
Oh yeah.
But she's also gorgeous.
And so
it's fine.
funny.
And so funny.
Do you have a comp?
Honestly, just how fucking hot it is. That's
In
the
general,
thing.
not just here?
No, not here. The temperature of your home is perfect.
Thank you.
Temperature's
I get
nice.
really insecure. We don't have AC. It's been so hot this
Yeah.
week. We cursed it. Remember, we were talking on last
Yeah,
episode
I
how it's been so
know.
temperate, and I was like, don't. This is the time it happens, and it's happening. And it's not even sunny. It's not even like layout. It's like
It's
muggy and
It's
90 degrees.
It's disgusting. You can't even go to the beach.
No, it's so gross.
We're so.
After this, I'm putting out our Elsa pool. If you're a
Yeah.
real fan, you'll remember the Elsa pool from our photo shoot that we did where me and Sam had a
Yeah.
baby together.
Yeah.
I fill that
beautiful
up
baby.
with water and then I read in it. And Chris's dad, who's staying with us, thinks I'm fucking crazy, I think,
Whoa.
when I sit.
I think he thinks you're crazy for other reasons too. So.
Maybe. Yeah, you don't do well in the heat.
No,
Sam's
I do so bad.
priorities in life are
Mm-hmm.
climate control,
Mm-hmm.
food
Mm-hmm.
control,
Mm-hmm.
and sleep control.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's hard. Do you have but you have ACC. ACC.
Oh my god, you're obsessed. You have a
I'm there too
problem.
much. You have AC in
Yeah,
your apartment
do.
though,
I do.
and it works well.
It works real well.
Also, shout out to Punky Johnson. She was and Dicey.
Yeah.
Two excellent comics, and they were
Yeah.
so kind.
They seemed very like they were just having a good time.
I came off
She definitely seemed like she's like, I don't care about the club's rules at all, which I do kind of vibe with. But
second show. They lit a joint on stage and passed it to the front row.
yeah, they were just like doing shots. I mean, honestly, they were just hanging out. You
They
could
were
tell
just hanging out.
it was the last stop on their tour, and you could tell.
Like they said, it's like the 50th show.
Yeah.
Like that's so
But they
much to
seemed
run an hour.
delightful to hang out.
And they were
with.
like, we're sister. Like it was really sweet and good, great vibes in the green
Did they
room
follow
because
oh,
they DM'd me. There was this gorgeous lesbian back
Mm-hmm.
there, who I became friends with. Don't worry, she likes mask. And she was super cool.
Yeah.
And also I got off stage
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, because it didn't feel as good as my Mike Vecchione set. Those were such good sets.
Yeah.
And so I got off but Punky was super like, no, that was like, affirming.
Oh,
and
great.
like sometimes you really need to hear that from someone
Yeah.
who's further
Well, my
along
sister thought
than
you were really funny.
And you know what? Melanie's a tough cookie.
Oh my god, so tough.
She's a tough
She
cookie.
Doesn't really like my comedy. She did the last time she saw me go up, she liked it more. But yeah.
That's so funny.
She doesn't love it. She doesn't like
I don't even know if Whitney likes my comedy. I don't want to ask.
Yeah.
She hasn't seen me go up in a minute. Or actually, I don't know. But anyways, Mein Kampf is that right before you came over. I went down this rabbit hole that I go down sometimes where I start looking into the lives of the people I went to Hebrew school with in LA.
Oh.
Who are like wildly successful.
Yeah.
One of them is the editor. She's my age. She's the editor-in-chief of High Snobiety. Do you know that? And like does interviews with Billie Eilish. Like,
oh my god.
She's
28.
She's 28 and she's the editor-in-chief. Like last night was like the September issue release date, and so she had a party in New York, and it was like all of the girls from Bottoms
oh my god.
were there. Like
Stop.
fashion, like so cool.
She must be a Nepo baby.
All of those girls who went to a very specific private school, it's called Oakwood School.
Yeah.
In LA were like very connected. Everyone who went to that school, it was one of those super expensive schools where you called your teacher by your first name or their first name. Like everyone was connected, and like multiple people from that school are famous or in the industry in a prominent way. So I was just like, and she's dating. She's gay. She's queer. Willa Bennett is her name, and she's dating an SNL writer.
Oh, who?
Celeste.
Oh,
the non-binary person.
Yeah, they're really funny.
They write a lot for like Bo and Yang.
Yeah, no,
they
I know
write.
Who that is. Yeah.
I was looking at some of their bits.
Yeah,
because they posted like a carousel of videos. So funny.
No, their
bits
hilarious.
are actually hilarious
so
because I know SNL gets a lot of criticism
the thing is
now.
That, like a lot of the writers on it are really fucking funny.
Yeah,
it's just like
but I don't think she's a stand-up.
SNL is just like a very specific genre.
Yeah, like some of the writers, like obviously John Mulaney was a writer, is a stand-up. There's a few of the writers who are on tour together who are stand-ups, but I kind of like the ones who aren't stand-ups.
Yeah, there are a lot of like theater kid vibe.
Right. I just there's so many things, and so when I look at those, when I go down these rabbit holes, I'm like, if my godmother would have gotten me into Yale. If I would never have left LA, like, what would life have been? Like, I feel like if I went to Yale and did like a liberal arts program, like I would be an SNL writer. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like whether or not that's actually true, I convince myself that the path's not taken.
It is hard. I feel like for me, something I'm struggling with, because it's like I've always wanted to be something creative and do something creative, and that is always what I've wanted. And I've always just like had this voice in my head, wherever it comes from, that's like, that's not practical, you need to find something else, that can't be your dream.
Probably a little bit influenced, whether or not your parents have ever said it, but they're both professionals.
Definitely
high achieving family.
I also think part of it is like my uncle was in the industry my entire childhood, and like I saw how hard it was and how brutal it was, and he was in it in like in a very different way than I would ever want to be in it.
Because he wasn't being as creative. He was more on the business side, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, but he was an actor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He has an MFA.
Oh, I didn't know any of that.
So he started out as an actor and like was doing like random commercial work and stuff like that, and that was just like gut-wrenching. Yeah. And then switched
it's almost humiliating.
Yeah, and then switched over to producing as like a way to like survive in the industry and like as a creative outlet still. Like he's definitely, not that he doesn't have business savvy or whatever, but like he's definitely much more of a creative than he is a business person. He's like he has charisma and charm that does well in business, but it's like very much the performer part of him that gets him there. There's a lot of like showmanship.
That's what I've always felt about myself with business, is like I'm good at like talking, but after that I'm like, I have nothing else to give you. I'm great
at the like idea generation because it's a creative part of my brain, but like, and I'm good at execution, but like I don't have the hard skills necessarily all the time. It's like, but I like dream really big. But
no, I'm the same exact way. But you're better at implementation than I am.
I'm just very persistent.
Yeah,
which is like,
nevertheless she persists.
But yeah, I think that like having that window into the industry.
Freaked you out.
And like that was someone who like he had no connection. Like he moved to LA when he was like he like got his MFA in San Francisco at ECT and then moved to LA and just had no connections and just like
did it. Back then you could kind of do that more than
but
you
he
can now.
like really struggled.
Yeah.
You know, and he had like, I mean, getting an MFA gets you somewhere in terms of acting to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
Not really, but
in theater more than
for
anything.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think also similarly, having watched my dad go through the industry and like that, he was a working actor, but like there was a lot of times where he was just like literally left heartbroken, and and he was like, "Don't do this life."
100%.
He was like, "Do not."
That I think is really where it comes from. Is like my uncle would be like, "Never be an actor, be a producer. If you want to do something creative, be a producer. Don't." Because like I was always so drawn to theater, and I just like this is my like rabbit hole that I go down is like, what would I have been if I had ignored that voice, if I didn't have that voice,
and threw yourself
like,
into something that was
opportunities because there was always a part of me holding back. Even now, like there's always that part, like I'm always holding back. You always
have like 1 foot half out.
Yeah, and it affects like my performance. It affects like how much I'm able to commit. It affects the energy I bring into it. But it's like little things. It's like if I had done like more theater, like I wouldn't do the really intense theater camps because like, well, I want to do other things, or like I wouldn't do like I didn't
like you wanted to round out your resume.
Yeah, or like why didn't I go to a school that had more like film and TV writing and stuff like that? And
were there schools here like that
in California? Oh, I meant for college.
Oh, college. Of course.
Because I've always really loved writing, but it was just like I got into like my head about like, okay, you have to find something more practical. And I do regret not being an English major in college, just like broadly. Yeah. I really like my favorite classes I took in college were, like comparative
literature classes.
Not even comparative lit, but like just English class. I did take quite a few, and those were my favorite classes by far. But
I loved comparative lit classes.
Yeah, but I really loved. And I should have just, I'm like, because I ended up with a theater minor, but I'm like, I just never fully committed to it. I didn't even like declare. I just like did it because it's what I cared. And so I think I'm reaching a point where I'm having to have this like really hard conversation with myself of like, because I'm applying, you know, whatever. It's just like, I don't know what the next step is for me. And I think it's, a part of me is like, do I just full send it and just try because I can, you know, like worst case scenario, I go back to whatever else. I could literally go to school, get a degree, you know, like
there's always those things. Those structures aren't going away.
No matter what, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, at what point do you just kind of like give yourself the permission to like full send it?
And I completely understand and feel the same way too, like all those what ifs of just like having been more honest with myself and then listen to the honesty. It's like those two things combined, because sometimes I'm lying I used to also lie to myself, so there was nothing to listen to, and then I would hear the voices and then I wouldn't act on them, but then we have to, what I try to remind myself is that what I do have the power to do is not be 38 and say that I did that at 28. You know what I mean? Like I can now give do it.
And I'm literally 24. But I'm just like, the times I feel most energized is when I'm working on a creative project. And like, obviously I love activism, and I'll always be, but like in college, even I got to a point, like I feel like COVID undid this work for me. Like, I feel like I was starting to get to a point where it's like, I can be creative. I'm going to be creative. I'm going to be creative. Like, literally my junior year of college, I was like, how do I make this work? I'm going to move to LA. I'm going to, like, work in TV. Like, I'm just going to make it happen. I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes. And then when COVID hit.
Just stop
when
momentum.
I was, like, at the end of my junior year, I was like, well, I can't go get, like, a junior year like junior summer internship,
you can't
because
PA
there
somewhere.
wasn't. And then I was like, yeah, there's literally nothing in entertainment, and then there's not going to be for a while. And then I was like, okay, well, I guess I got to just like find something else. And activism was just something that I knew, and it just kind of fell into place, and I'm good at it. But I don't. The type of activist that I actually want to be, I cannot be in the world that I am in. And I think that that's
also holding you back.
Yeah. Anyway, we got deep there.
We are slowly freeing ourselves from the binds of a late capitalistic society.
Yeah.
Still no job. Chris said I don't have to apply until I get back from.
That's good. That's freeing at least.
Yeah. So I'm just going to enjoy the wedding and then figure out what money I can have, what I can find. But yeah.
Money.
Oh, one thing was that the boys said I could maybe do Jacob and Carlos was because, like, you know, I can fit my fist in my mouth. If I made an OnlyFans where I'm like fitting my fist in my mouth and my front half of my foot in my mouth.
Yeah. Or just like large objects.
Yeah.
That actually would probably do well.
So that might be what I do in lieu of a career. But yeah, this was a great episode. You slayed this episode,
You
Sam.
slayed this episode.
You're really good. I'm really still just thinking over your answers for gay, straight, bi parts of weddings. You had such good answers.
You brought some heat too.
Thank you. I appreciate
really
it.
enjoyed it. This was good. I feel like we were us.
Yeah, we were us. You know, we know that we took a little bit of a left turn for our premiere episode of season 2. We're so fucking demented, Samantha, to be like, you know what we should do? 2 comedians. We should just, in a not funny way at all, discuss outright our stances on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict and like sandwich it between some games. But like that was really unhinged of us. And honestly, I'm not saying sorry. I'm just saying we're back.
This is who we are.
This is more who we are.
Return to self.
But yeah, like and subscribe.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. Cause
this is a bi-weekly podcast because we're bisexuals. I've been Sarah W.
I'm Samantha Schwimmer.
See you next time. These dancing Jews.